Hey all, Hipper here. So, it has finally happened. There is finally a battleship that I would consider an agile battleship. And it is the new Tier 6 Strasbourg. So I'm using Ru with Baltimore and Tesla. Tesla because she gives me better rudder and she improves the turret traverse. Important on battleships. The base perk is useless, so Ingenious and Full Speed Ahead and Velocious and Steer Clear and Fully Packed, of course. So this one, Fully Packed here, will give you 3 reload boosts instead of 2. So in this battle here I have the traverse speed in the first slot, but I kind of jump between that one and the secondary boost. So Repair Party and Spotter. Again, I have Spotter in this battle. Sometimes I have the secondary boost, and I actually think the secondary is probably the way to go with this ship here, because I'll get into that later in the video. But look at this here, 5.9 second rudder and 730 turning circle and 32 knots for a battleship at tier 6. Yeah, that is an agile battleship, I will say that. And it needs to be agile because look at that armor there. It can be overmatched pretty much anywhere by pretty much any battleship. Yeah, that's why I also think it has a fast rudder, because you need to juke this thing around here, and it does that well. It does that really well actually, and it's a lot of fun as well, and that's what I like. So finally we have a battleship that I actually think is fun to play, because it's not just, you know, a brick sitting somewhere on the map, and Strasbourg is actually fun. So see here, like I said before, I have the spotter plane equipped here. This was before I perfected the build on this ship here, so I'm still using Ru on my build, but I'm changing the update, like the modification number 1, I'm changing that to the secondary boost, and then instead of the spotter plane I have the secondary consumable. Because with that, and you'll see me doing it a few times in this battle here actually, when I'm facing something that requires faster shooting guns, or something that is just like too powerful basically, with this fast rudder here I can just choose, okay, I'll just turn my back and then let my secondaries on the back do all the work. And that actually works really, really well. Like, I was very surprised when I kind of realized that in these battles here, and that is pretty much the thing you can do in this Strasbourg here. You can show broadside, so there's no more you know, if you're going out the wrong way in a battleship and there's just no way you can turn around, in Strasbourg you can. It's quite fast. I mean, it has faster rudder than some cruisers, actually most cruisers that is. And of course you give up a lot for this maneuverability here, but this is an agile channel, so we are looking at an agile battleship here. So with this build here, you can play Strasbourg like a very big cruiser, basically. I get into the fray and of course put pressure on the enemies like I do in the agile cruisers usually. And although I have the spotter plane here, when you're faced with, for example, a destroyer or something, like something that's a little bit annoying to shoot at with your main guns, you can't just choose to turn around if they're inside, you know. You are secondary radius up, obviously, and then just let the secondaries on the back of the ship do the work. And that also works really well if you are, you know, kiting away from a superior force or anything like that. If you just hit that secondary boost and then turn your butt the other way, yeah, it works really well. And that's one way of using the rudder in this ship here. So now I'm surprising this New Orleans here. He is obviously not really ready for that, and I'm keeping that island in the front between myself and the battleship, so I'll be able to cross this bit of open water here. And I'm not firing in this New Orleans here, I'm just waiting until he shows a little bit of broadside. There he goes, and then we take the shot. And I think the dispersion on this ship here is really good. I don't even have a battleship commander on this ship here, so I don't have any dispersion buffs at all. And I pretty much hit what I aim at. I think it's excellent, actually, one of the best in my opinion. And I'm not used to that in battleships where actually, actually hit what you aim at. But yeah, with Strasbourg, that seems to be the case. So here we have like pretty much just muscled ourselves into the cap here, and I'm just going to see if I can get rid of this Bayern here, so we can actually start to push over towards B as well. So here you see me doing what I was saying before, simply using the secondaries on the back of the ship to set this guy on fire here. Of course I use my front guns as well, but I've faced a lot of Bayerns in Strasbourg, well, not a lot, but a few, and my experience is that the front guns just don't really bite on this thing. That's also why I've switched to high explosive. So this way I can get my secondaries on the back into play, and then at the same time I'm just pretty much kiting here and getting my front guns in when they are ready. And a nice 2 fires there on him, and yeah, that seems to work really well. And I think I'm doing it again in this battle here, and that's why I thought, hey, maybe I should actually, invest some real skills into that, because it seems to be working really well. So that's what I've done, and that's why the build I have in this battle here is not the build I'm using anymore. Like I said in the beginning, it's the same commander, but the first module on the ship is the secondary boost, and I don't have the spotting plane anymore. I have the secondary booster. So torpedoes are also extremely easy to avoid in this battleship here with this build. And wow, we got the kill for that one. I didn't even realize that. Like I said, this thing turns in 5.9 seconds, and the turning radius is 730 meters. That's less than a Targo, and I think it's the same as Hipper. I'm not sure, but it's very, very short for a battleship. And as you can see, like, it's just so nimble. It's really a lot of fun to play, and I'm really happy I actually bought Strasbourg, because obviously I didn't get it gift wrapped by Wargaming anymore. So I think I've taken a few weeks to think about it, and I thought I had a good Dunkirk battle, and then I thought, okay, well, let's take this Strasbourg anyway. So I purchased it, and I'm really happy I did. I think it's awesome, actually. Not just awesome, but also fun to play, and of course that is the most important thing for me. So finally now I actually have a battleship that I can play like a cruiser. Of course it doesn't have sonar, but other than that, this is a very cruiser-like build on a battleship, and all your firepower is in the front, so you don't really have to worry too much about like not showing broadside and stuff, because you're never tempted to get that rear gun into action, because it doesn't exist. And like I showed in the beginning, this is a lightly armored battleship, just like Dunkirk. So like if you're facing an Alabama or something like that, like something with 16-inch guns, you are in trouble. And that's also why I think an Agile build suits this ship really well, because it's just better to avoid the shells with this build here than to try to tank them, which doesn't really work out that well. So it is a tier 6, and of course you'll be facing lots of tier 7s in it, but I've actually had a pretty good time doing that in this Strasbourg here. And it's the only thing that's not bad about the ship, but like could be better, is that like I would love for it to have torpedoes, but obviously it isn't going to have that. But that would be fun though. So I guess the big question is that if Strasbourg is worth a purchase if you are into Agile builds, and I definitely think it is. It allows you to play Agile cruisers just in a battleship, really. And obviously that's a lot of fun for especially someone like me who really enjoys Agile cruisers. And I've really been waiting for a battleship that actually allowed me to do this. And I mean, there's a few ones that are close, like Vanguard, I think it's 8-second rudder, and Scharnhorst is also down in the 7-8 territory. Alabama can also go down to about 8, but it just doesn't make it Agile. It just makes it a battleship that turns quite quick. just miss out on that guy there. But on Strasbourg, it actually makes sense, because 5.9 second rudder, that's fast, no matter how you look at it. And you can just correct those broadsides all the time and very, very quickly. And you will need to with the ship, because I showed before the armor is quite thin, and most other ships can simply overmatch you. So that's why dodging shots is the way to do it in the ship, I think. And it's better at it at Dunkirk. Don't think you can go down and make Dunkirk an agile battleship, because the rudder on Dunkirk is 14 seconds stuck, and Strasbourg is only just over 10. That's a difference of 4 seconds, but it makes a world of difference in the world of rudders, where like something like just 0.2 of a second can make a huge difference. And especially Strasbourg here, where I say stock rudder is 10.2, I think, something like that. And with the first rudder modification in the second slot on the ship, and then an agile cruiser commander on top, like you can get it down to 5.9 seconds like I do here. And it's just fun. Like it's a fun battleship to play, and it doesn't require a lot of like complicated thinking, because all the guns are in the front, and just all you have to worry about is just not to get torped, really. And even that is quite easy with a rudder this fast. It really doesn't take much to just pop the speed down to reverse and then full rudder, and then you can pretty much avoid anything, at least if you have an idea of where it's coming from. So also in this case here, I can turn so fast, so I can make this, which was going to be a drive-by, into a citadel shot. Well, it should be a citadel shot, I don't think it is. But you get the picture here. You can turn so much faster than any other battleships, that these situations here, and now I'm going to do the rear thing again, where I bring the rear of the ship into the fight, and I got a fire there. And like I said, it works really well. So in situations like this, where you're just waiting for your guns to reload, and that's also not much of a problem in the ship, because you have 3 main battery reloads. And here I'm just changing to AP, and then I let him fire one more time, and then I'm going to give him the coup de grace here. Again with the fast rudder, we just start doing it now, and then we turn, and there's a bit of an island in the way here, so I have to make this one count, otherwise I'm a dead one. And of course it works out well. So on the other hand, if you're not an agile aficionado, and you don't enjoy agile builds, or very fast and high risk, high reward gameplay, then Strasbourg is probably not for you, because a traditional battleship build on this thing, I don't know, then might as well just play the Richelieu at tier 7, I think, because it's just better. And of course Champ-Bar, if you have it, is even better, because they also have slightly better armor. But Strasbourg, with a like a standard build, I probably wouldn't find it very interesting to play. But with this agile build here and 5.9 second rudder, I really enjoy it. I think it's a lot of fun, and it's, well, if I may say so, it's about time we actually got a battleship that you can play in an agile fashion, and not force it into that role, because this is pretty much what the ship should do. I mean, you don't have much armor, and your guns are in the front, and it's just the perfect layout to wiggle your way around the map. So that was an Agile Strasbourg for you guys, and like I said, it works out beautifully. So I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you out there.